Right, so this is Mousecraft. Mousecraft was initially a PC game that went through Steam, went into Greenlight, and we sort of started talking to these guys at Gamescom last year about maybe bringing it to PlayStation. Initially, back then, in the olden days, we were looking at PS3. Since then, we've sort of thought, okay, we're going to do PS3, we might as well sort of look at bringing it to other systems. Obviously, it's on the Vita, and we're sort of, right now, sort of bringing it to PS4 as well, which is a decision we made last week. So that might delay the release date a little bit. We're looking at May right now. It could be June now because of the PS4 release date. But that means when it does come out, we're able to offer cross-buy. It's much more difficult to offer cross-buy on Sony consoles if you don't release it all at the same time. It becomes a bit more complicated. So Mousecraft at its core is a puzzle game where you are trying to lead mice from one element to another area of the level. People have described it as a mix of Lemmings and Tetris, and that's sort of a really good example because the mice aren't controlled directly, they're controlled through basically leading them through a path. So as a really obvious example here, we've got 4 blocks that very, very obviously fit into 3 holes here, like that. And then press square, and the mice sort of go on their way. You press square again, they speed up because you might as well go on with it. You get to the cheese, very, very, very simple, and that's the end of the level. The level sort of grades you on how many mice you get, and as you go through, sort of introduce some sort of different elements. So again here, slightly more complicated. They're like Tetris shapes, Tetramino, so you can obviously rotate them. The mice can move 1 block up by themselves. So here we put that in. You can drop the blocks, or you can place them in, depending on what you want to do. That becomes a bigger element later on. Again, move them across. And as you play, there are these little blue guys as well. And they're sort of a key element of it because the actual game, as you can see from the artwork really, it's kind of a family-orientated game. It's difficult, but it's difficult if you choose to make it difficult. Basically, these little blue shards here that are a big part of obviously the achievement system. You can play the game and completely ignore them, and it then becomes a sort of good game for kids to play. It's a good game for families, which the Vita doesn't have enough of. But if you want to start looking at collecting these, it becomes really, really difficult. First time I played this, yeah, it was sort of very, and I bet I can't even do this now, even having played it this morning, because basically the mice have to run over the blues to get them in. So there's a really obvious, easy way through this level. Let's remove that. You can undo everything you do. So let's put this guy down here. So the mice are going to go like that. That's good. Let's put this guy down here and put this guy here, and then I think this should work. Yes. So that's the very sort of basic element, but the game picks up speed sort of very, very quickly. If I can bring us back out to, oh, that was a mistake. To say 8. So
how many levels are there?
Right now there's around 50. There might be some more. It's a fairly extensive game, and there are a lot of different things that go on. Again, here is an example of sort of playing with trying to get the blue crystals. So if we let the mice go without doing anything, what will happen is they'll die because they're falling, and the minute they do that, they can't sort of make it out again. So what you need to do here is use this guy, put him here, and instantly we can sort of, so you can replay the level as much as you want to sort of test what's going to work and what isn't. When the mice hit a wall, including the edges of the levels here, where the sort of grid is, I'm not sure how well you can see that on the camera, the mice will turn around, so they can't fall off, there's no problem there. But with this one, we had to let them go off first to be able to put this one down here to let them grab all of this. If you drop the blocks on the mice, they die, so you have to sort of, you can slow down time again obviously to make that work easier, and then grab the thing. One more element I'll show you quickly, which is, yes, so this is a very, very simple demonstration of this, but there are also different items that you can collect and different types of blocks. So there are exploding blocks, jelly blocks which bounce the mouse over things, and you've got to sort of estimate where they're going to land, and then you've got bombs. which will explode blocks in the path of the mice. So here we've got this one, we've got one more bomb left, and because there's sort of a rudimentary gravity system, if you're going to blow that up, the one that ever fall down, then the mice can go sort of pick up all that. Go to stuff.
Who's the character in the background? What's your name of them all?
The character in the background is this sort of crazy cat. We've got a trailer we're working on that sort of introduces him a bit more. He's trying to use the mice as like a perpetual motion machine, and you sort of see him more as the game goes on as well. There's a full level editor as well. I'm not sure if this is in the Vita version yet. We'll soon find out. It will be in the Vita version. I'm not sure if this build has it. Yeah, it does. So there's a full level editor, which is probably one of the things I'd say you definitely want to use touch for. But it's properly.
Can you share them with?
We're hoping to have full sharing on for launch. If we don't, it will be patched in. Let's quit that. I could not make levels to save my life, but it's a nice sort of addition to sort of extend the life of the game as well. There are lots of different sort of stats going on with the game. There are a variety of trophies that we're still adding in right now. So if you really want to get into it, it becomes very, very, very complicated. But if you want to just play all 50 levels, it's not too hard. It doesn't become something that you can't give to a sort of a younger child. Obviously, we've got cloud sync play, so you can play this on your bus, come home, and then instantly pick up PS4, which is always a bonus. Something that we can just put into games through the magic of Sony. And yeah, the full story mode. I'll show you the map. Right now, it goes up to further. Yep. Right now it goes up to 80. I'm not sure. I know we've got 50 that are absolutely finished and ready to go. We might have 80. We might have slightly less. What's important for us is making sure the levels are fun. It's more important to have levels that get more difficult, that are challenging and enjoyable and introduce new elements than just sticking another 20 levels at the end for the sake of it. So we're sort of still working on the sort of final numbers. Exactly. And those are our games.